Hey guys, welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. My name is Adam, and today I'm going to teach you just a little bit about music theory on guitar, specifically talking about building chords and especially seventh chords. So let's start with the basics, how to build a chord. Let's start with power chords. So these are the chords in rock and roll. They're like, you know, that sort of stuff. So let's do an A power chord. Let's start with our index finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string. So that's going to be our root of the chord. So all the intervals are going to relate to this root. So next we're going to add the 5th with our ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. This is sort of like a very important interval. It really kind of strengthens the chord having the root in the 5th. And then if you add your pinky also on the 7th fret of the 4th string, that's an octave from the root. They're the same note, same pitch, just an octave apart. So this is a power chord, just these 3 notes. So when you're strumming, you know, you can just aim for these 3 strings, or if you kind of flatten out your finger and touch lightly all the other strings, you can mute them. And that way you can strum all of them. Okay, so that's kind of like a power chord, and it has no third. The third of the chord is what determines if it's major or minor. Since these don't have a third, they're neither major or minor. And so a lot of like rock and metal, it's a cool thing to have because you can do a lot of modal stuff on top of it without, you know, declaring whether it's major or minor. Okay, so, you know, to do the third, let's do the actual A chord in open position. Okay, so here once again we have our root and our 5th. And then we have an octave. Okay, now we're going to add the 3rd on the 2nd string. If you're from the root, if you go up 3 half steps, so here we are, you're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 3 half steps above the root. That's a minor third. Okay, so now it's a minor chord. If you go up 1 more half steps, now we're 4 half steps above that root. That's a major third. So now we have a major chord. Okay, so now let's talk about these sevenths. Let's start with the major 7th. So basically what the 7 means is that it's an interval above that root. Now an octave is an interval of an 8th. There are 8 steps between like the root and the octave there. So 7th just means that you're going lower than that. With a major 7th, it is just 1 half step lower than that octave. So on the 1st fret there. So that's the interval of a major 7th. And it sounds very dissonant. It doesn't sound very good by itself. But once you add in the other notes of the chord, so here's our A chord, and then we just move the finger down to the 1st fret. There you have your major 7th chord. Okay, let's try it with the D chord. So here's our normal D chord. So the octave is between the 4th open string and the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. That's an octave, so we're going to go 1 less to that interval. We're going to put the other fingers back down, or you could hold it with just like a bar on those 3. So a G, same thing. It's actually 2 octaves between the 1st string and the 6th string. Fill in the other notes, or other ways. Here's another one. If you go up just 1 octave, that doesn't sound very nice. So you can do a lot of stuff messing around. Same thing with a C chord. If you just lift up your index finger, C major 9. Okay? Now let's talk about the dominant. I mean, not 9, 7 is what I meant to say. So with the dominant chords, that's a major chord with a minor 7th on top of it. So a minor 7th is 2 half steps, or 1 whole step lower than that octave. So going back to the A chord, we're now going to move 2 half steps. Okay? That's A dominant 7. Same thing with D. or G. Okay, so that's the dominant seventh. Now let's talk about the minor minor seventh. So these are based on top of a minor chord. So let's make it an A minor. Because it's a minor seventh, it's 2 half steps below the octave. So we're going to have an open third string. So if we take off that ring finger, we have the A minor seventh chord. It's one of my favorite chords. Okay, same thing, let's try E minor. So let's take that double octave between the 6th string and the 1st string. They're both E. Go down 2 half steps. So we're going to add the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Same thing, D minor. So first fret, 2nd fret. Okay, and based on what you know now, you can figure out other chords. Let's say you want to figure out B minor 7 chord. So we know A minor 7. So you know B is a whole step higher than A, so that's two half steps, 2 frets higher. So we're just going to go up 1, 2, and then add that A minor 7 shape. Okay, so, or example, let's say you want to do an E major major 7. So we found that this was a D major 7. So let's go 2 frets higher, let's put a bar there and move that up. Okay, so you can do a lot of cool things with 7th chords to kind of jazz up your music. There's a lot of other types of 7th chords, like minor, major 7 chords and other cool things. And then, you know, you can even stack on even more notes to make 12ths or 13ths or even 14ths and lots of, or 11ths and lots of other weird intervals. So, good luck with this. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great week. See you next time.